Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Wolfwalkers. Wolfwalkers tells the story of Robin, a young girl who idolizes her father, who is also a hunter. However, one day her entire life is changed when she follows him into the woods and discovers that these wolves are not what she had been taught to believe. When she is introduced to a little girl who is, in fact, a wolfwalker, her life is forever changed and tough decisions are to be made. This film is directed by the duo of Tom Moore and Ross Stewart, who also have created the films The Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea. And now this being the third in their Irish folklore spiritual trilogy. I actually hadn't seen the trailer for this film going in. I just knew of the directors and I knew that it once again was rooted in a strong Celtic background. And that enough made me excited. I love The Secret of Kells. I also really enjoy Song of the Sea. And when the opportunity presented itself for me to be able to watch this film for the virtual screenings at the Toronto International Film Festival, I jumped right on it. And wow, am I glad I did. What a fantastic little film this is. So, let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, the biggest positive for me is this animation. It is this storybook style of animation, which really blends these fluid artistic lines with more like woodwork type of animation that creates a very fantastical, as I said, storybook type of atmosphere. It is stunning. Oh, it looks just so beautiful. It's so distinct. And even from their past projects, it stands on its own. I think this is taking their animation style to the next level from the past films they've done. It is a marvel to watch. Now, in some senses, with the story, I'm actually going to circle back around in the negatives. But overall, I think these characters are rooted in reality and relatability. We have two strong young female characters who feel completely natural, and their connection is authentic. Their actions and the way that they go about trying to save the day is very authentic and relatable. It works so well, and I think we have two wonderful characters in Robin and Maeve. They are so wonderful and they are beautifully voiced by these young actresses. Honor Nefse is the lead who plays Robin, and she is wonderful in this role. A really spunky yet relatable protagonist, and she just lends the perfect voice to this character. And then we have Ava Whitaker as Maeve, who is also really fun. This is a character that easily could have fallen into that annoying trope. However, the way she's written and the way that Ava presents her through her voice work keeps her in lovable main character territory. It's really great. And then we have Sean Bean, who plays Bill, Robin's father, and he also brings this warm sternness to the role that keeps it right at that level where you empathize with him but also get frustrated with him. The music in this film is also stunning. The original score is beautiful throughout. And then there's this one song, it's like Running with the Wolves, that plays in this film. Not only is the song itself gorgeous, but that entire sequence in the film may be competing right now for my favorite moment in cinema for 2020. I thought it was magical and it took my breath away. And the entire film just takes care, not only with the animation and the craft behind it. These characters are handled with care. The story itself is handled with a lot of care, and the emotion shines through literally from the very beginning, and it stays through until the very conclusion. And our main character is faced with some difficult decisions that are familiar enough in child stories, in coming of age stories, and growing up, but the stakes just were elevated here, and it made for a very compelling narrative. And it's also special because this is rooted in so many Celtic traditions without pandering. We don't get a bunch of Irish jigs in the score. Instead, it feels authentically Celtic. Same thing with the visuals. And even looking at the story, I researched and tried to see some of this folklore, if there is Wolfwalker folklore. And while I couldn't find anything that directly pertained to this exact type of story, there is so much folklore around wolves and werewolves that you turn into every 7 years, so on and so forth in Irish mythology. So everything about it felt authentic. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to wolfwalkers? Honestly, my only real negative for this film is that it's a bit more familiar and the story itself is a bit safer than their previous work, which I think was really daring and really ethereal. This actually feels more accessible to me, which I really enjoyed, and the heart rings true. It's executed really well. But there's a lot of familiarity with the story beats. You get the gist pretty quickly of where we're going to go and where things are going to progress in the story itself. This one, more than their past work, does fall into some of those storytelling tropes. Honestly, that's only a minor negative because if it's executed well, I don't really mind familiar storytelling, and I think this is executed very, very well. So overall, I loved Wolfwalkers. This is a beautiful film, from animation to story to characters and messaging. Everything about Wolfwalkers really just works for me. I think this is one of the best of 2020, and I cannot wait for everyone else to experience this once it debuts on Apple TV Plus, as well as gets a theatric release later this year. So that was my review of Wolfwalkers. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Wolfwalkers? Have you seen their past works? And did anybody else get to see this through the virtual rental at TIFF 2020? If you did, what did you think of this film? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!